Robert Downey Jr. making his return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, plus the Fantastic Four and other San Diego Comic-Con 2024 news, ladies and gents. First off, how are you guys doing? It's been a while since I've seen you.
Hanging in there, doing okay. Glad to have you back, DH. Missed you.
Yeah, missed you guys.
Yeah, good to see you again, DH. And yes, it's just good to have some really interesting news to talk about.
Yeah.
Press.
All right, and we got to start with the obvious. Jonathan Majors, dude, you fumbled the bag big time. I don't know if people were really interested in Kang. I don't know if people were kind of divided on Kang. Some people wanted him. Some people didn't really want him.
I don't know if people were really interested in Kang.
But
I mean, I have thoughts on that. Actually, I am against them changing it because it just makes it look like that. Oh, no one can play Kang but Jonathan Majors. Mm-hmm. I think they should have recasted the douche and just moved on. And I was kind of looking forward to Kang Dynasty being a backdoor Young Avengers movie, and so I was actually okay with that. And so that I'm kind of sad that they didn't just recast. I think John Boyega would have been a great replacement for Jonathan Majors, in that aspect. And so I'm kind of sad that they're kind of pivoting away from Kang. I would not have been upset if Kang Dynasty was like, that's it though. Like, I know that they were planning on going from Kang Dynasty into Secret Wars. I would not have been upset if they would have been like, all right, Kang Dynasty, that, and then that's its own thing, and then we're pivoting into Secret Wars, and then after that, then we get Avengers Doomsday. But yeah, we can get more into that when we talk. But about the Jonathan Majors thing, I think it'll stroke his ego more than he deserves for him to keep, for him to basically think, oh, well, they couldn't recast me because I am the perfect Kang.
Yeah.
Which, honest and truly, like, he was good. Don't get me wrong. As a douche, he's, even though he's a douche, he was still good in that role.
Yeah.
But he's not irreplaceable.
Yeah. Anyone could, Boyega could have played Kang, but yeah, I think with Kang, it sucks that we're not going to get the Kang movie because I was one of those that was actually looking forward to the Kang Dynasty. But maybe what they'll do is they do with other things, they'll table it. Maybe it'll come back in a few years. Maybe we might see Kang back into the MCU. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to wait a while. But, Zam, do you have any thoughts on Majors before we get into the big news?
A bit of Kang, bit of Majors. I think with Ant-Man Quantumania, they kind of dropped the ball with how Kang should be. Like, that should have been a win for Kang, in my opinion. For him to lose in his first introduction wasn't a great start. I know other Kang would have been variants and stuff like that, but that felt like they called him the Conqueror. They made a myth out of him in the exposition early on in the movie and stuff like that. And just to go that direction wasn't too great. I think I can understand Disney's perspective. Look, let's just wash our hands with this shit. We still got Doctor Doom. We still got people like Galactus in the nearby future as well. There are other big, massive, ultra, super dominant villains in the MCU that we can focus on without putting our eggs in the Kang basket. And who knows, maybe in the future they can go back to Kang, in some way, in some elaborate way, but put him on the shelf for now. Look, and I'm not surprised that they kind of change directions, because every time you see what's on offer in the future on the smorgasbord of MCU movies that have yet to be made, they always deviate. And then some things turn into series, some things don't even get made, people get fired, people get rehired, in Junior's case. So I'm not too fussed about it, but yeah, I'm not too fussed about it at all, to tell you the truth.
Okay, but let's get to the big reason why we're here. Robert Downey Jr. is revealed as Dr. Doom, and honestly, I think the way they're going to go with it is I think they're going to go with the variant of Tony Stark route. I think they'll go that route. They'll be like, in my world, I was Tony Stark, and, you people shun me, and I think that's going to be the premise that they go with, and if you don't love me, I'm going to make you all fear me. And I think that's going to be the approach they go with Dr. Doom. But what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about Downey Jr. coming back?
Go to you. You start.
Yeah, Cheeto.
Well, I'm not a fan. It's not that I don't think Robert Downey Jr. could do a good job at it,
Yeah.
but I think you're basically saying that, and I'm not a purist when it comes to Doctor Doom and all that, but it screams like desperation at this point. Like we say in the thumbnail, genius or desperation. Now, if you want, the great way they could have done this was you have your Doctor Doom. And you have your Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday, and it's somebody good. You go to Secret Wars where you're dealing with variants and stuff like that, and then that's where Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark's Doctor Doom shows up as God Doom or something like that. But you're really like basically saying, well, we don't think that Victor Von Doom, the original Doctor Doom, can hold his own weight here. You know what I mean? And like that's. It just screams for that's why it screams for me desperation is like everybody's been talking about Doctor Doom. It's just it screams, oh look, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as soon as Avengers Doomsday, and he'll probably start showing up before that, you know. And it's just like I'm not a fan. As I said, it would have been great if he would have shown up as like God Doom or like a Doctor Doom and Secret Wars, but in Avengers Doomsday already, it's kind of like, no, you guys are just desperate. Like you guys are going back to the well super quick. And I'm sure Robert Downey Jr. will do great. I'm not saying that it's even a poor casting. I just think it's a poor creative direction for bringing Doctor Doom into it should, in my opinion, Doctor Doom, like there should be a MCU version of Doctor Doom first.
Yep.
There should be a MCU version of Doctor Doom first. Then you can have a variant. Or something like that.
That's what I think they should have done. I don't think they should have brought Robert Downey Jr. back at Comic-Con, but I think it was just for the cheap pop of like, oh, look, okay, here he is. And it's like, all right, cool, good to see you back. But I would have saved it. I would have literally saved it for like a credit scene or something of like, you go to the very end of like Doomsday and there's God Doom and it's like, holy shit, that's Downey Jr. And then that would have been a bigger, impactful moment. But Downey Jr. coming back, to me, it just screams desperation. I'm not saying either that I don't think he's going to do a bad job. I think he'll do a great job at it, but I wouldn't have done it in this way. That's my thoughts. Zam?
I think the reason why they showed him at Comic-Con is that people are not as interested in the MCU as they once were. And, you know, with you know, so many dud movies or below par films, you know, like, and so for that reason they thought to themselves, you know what, let's get eyes back on us and play a trump card like Robert Downey Jr. Regarding him coming back in the MCU, I'm a bit different to you guys because a character like Doom almost needs his own movie to a degree and needs to be involved in some of the other films in some aspect to really flesh him out before we get to Avengers Doomsday. And by the way, Superman should sue for that shit, calling it Doomsday. But regardless, I think the reason why they're going down this route is that we kind of got somebody who's semi-established. Obviously, he's not Tony Stark, our universe, but he's semi-established. He's a version of Tony Stark. I agree with you. I think he'll be a variant for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he has to be. Like they're doing it this way because they don't want to tarnish the legacy of Tony Stark's sacrifice, which I agree with. You cannot, if you undermine. I was always okay with like a version of Tony Stark coming back in like Secret Wars or something like that. Like I didn't mind. They weren't, as long as they don't like bring that version over. I figured Robert Downey Jr. was coming back for Secret Wars. You know, I thought we would get Sorcerer Supreme Stark, you know, like or something like that.
I don't want to see some of the conflicts as well, you know, with Rhodey and Pepper and Peter. You know, like these three characters had a lot of love for Tony Stark, and now they see this evil variant version of him. How will they react to it? You know, and all of that it brings a lot to the overall story. And I actually think it's a smart move actually regarding the rejuvenation of the MCU. It needed a defibrillator, so to speak, to get it back to fucking life. And I think this is it in my opinion. And I don't mind this alternative way of doing things. I think this is quite a clever way of putting a spin on Doctor Doom in a way and bringing him straight into the MCU without necessarily over fleshing him out, and this would be probably the best way to do it, in my opinion.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And then
I'm trying to be positive, that's what I'm saying.
No, and I'm positive too. As I said, I think he's going to do a great job in it. I think he's going to be a great Doctor Doom. I would much rather have Doctor Doom be like we've all been waiting for a MCU Doctor Doom for years.
Ever. Yeah.
So, I mean, even the Fantastic Four technically aren't even in the main MCU timeline at this point. That
they're variants as well. I think they're variants as well. The Fantastic Four there. I mean, they're from a different universe.
They're all going to come in Secret Wars. That's my point about Secret Wars. Is like they're all going to come in. It's that's where all this is going to culminate, and then we are going to start to see okay, spoilers for Deadpool. I don't know. Do you want to say that?
5, 4, 3, 2, go.
So with Deadpool, it's like even Deadpool's universe is still his own universe. It's not like it's gone. It's not like, oh boy, look, the X-Men are in the MCU now. No, it's if anything, you've revitalized the Deadpool verse. I don't know if it is the X-Men timeline. So it's like the X-Men timeline because you brought Hugh Jackman over there. You know what I mean? So technically it is still it's all revitalized. You know what I mean?
It's all interconnected now, basically.
And I think Secret Wars is what's going to bring it together. Like everyone who was saying that Deadpool and Wolverine was going to bring the X-Men in. No, that I knew that wasn't going to happen. So anyway, without saying too much, if you're safe if you muted it.
Yeah, and we're still talking spoilers to a degree regarding Deadpool and Wolverine. That's a whole different. It's not even the same fucking Wolverine. They made that very clear. It was an owl Wolverine. It was a totally different one.
Well, that one's dead.
Yeah, and they play, and I like the way that they played on that actually.
I loved it. We can talk about if we do a review on Deadpool and Wolverine. I got a ton to say.
Yeah,
so we're gonna get a whole different a different batch of X-Men characters and stuff like that. So so regardless of what they did, I just think I mentioned about rejuvenating. I think Deadpool and Wolverine was also that too, just to get bums back on seats, get people falling in love with the MCU again. And I think somebody mentioned as well regarding Hugh Jackman being Wolverine. And by the way, he's going to be probably the toughest character to replace because he's been Wolverine for over 20 fucking years.
But he's going to be doing it until he's 90, so that's how that'll go.
Well, so many characters have played other characters. There's been alternatives of almost every X-Men character and every MCU DC character. They've all had alternatives, but Wolverine's only been one fucking guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how they replace him which they have to eventually.
Well, he's showing up in Secret Wars. I mean, either whether it's Old Man Logan, which I would prefer. I know he's dead, but I mean, or this version of Wolverine. I don't know. I just going back. It seems like it's again going back to the well about Wolverine and Anyway.
Yeah, we're going back to the well. I'm not going to be surprised if they do that with Captain America, Steve Rogers. I think that they'll be totally going all out for Secret Wars by the time that movie comes out. They'll be doing everything they can to get everybody back.
Well, and that's the problem. Is they undermine when they do that though.
They undermine everything they've done
with Sam Wilson, and that will piss me off because that would be Disney copping out. You know what I mean? Them doing Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, that's not a cop-out, that's desperation.
Yeah.
But if they just bring Steve Rogers back, and I know it's happened in the comics, but if they bring Steve Rogers back as Cap, first off, that's a discredit to everyone in the Black community who basically was taking the reins as Captain America because that's what I love Sam Wilson as Captain America, and I love the send-off we got with Steve Rogers. It was perfect. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier was a perfect build up to Sam Wilson being Captain America.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, I'm excited for Brave New World. I know the MCU's been kind of mid, but I'm excited for Brave New World because I'm I want to see Sam Wilson take these reins
Yep.
go. And I think that the community needs to give him a chance.
Yeah, and like I said, like, okay, because I know people are like, oh man, I want to see Chris Evans back as Cap one last time. I'm like, I don't. The only way I wouldn't mind him coming back is if Sam Wilson gets his ass kicked, and then it's like, man, you know, I've got doubts about Captain America, and then all of a sudden, here's Steve. Yo, don't talk like that. I gave you this shield for a reason. Now you need to go out there. Yeah, old man Steve.
Mm-hmm.
It needs
I wouldn't
to
mind
be,
that.
Yeah, it'd be like, I gave you this for a reason, and that's it. That's the only time we ever see Chris Evans back in any way, shape, or form. But I do not want him to come back as Captain America.
There's one way that we would love seeing him back, but I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
And we still got like characters like Isaiah Bradley, by the way, who looks in better shape than fucking Steve Rogers. And we saw him in the trailer and stuff like that. So, you know, the people they can give him a fucking pep talk. Even Bucky could. You know, he's fucking got years of experience under his belt, even though he looks young. You know what I mean? And he's become him and Sam have become tight now. You know, so yeah, like, you know, like anyway, but we're kind of going on a.
This is what we do. We go on tangents because
but we're still talking about MCU, and Secret Wars and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't think we've tangented that far.
Yeah.
Regarding Fantastic Four, because for me, Doctor Doom is also a Fantastic Four. Even though he's a big bad, he's also a Fantastic Four villain as well. So are they going to incorporate that in the Fantastic Four? Because it'll be a bit weird to bring the Fantastic Four in their first movie and then beating Doctor Doom. Well, that wouldn't do Doom any favors. And at the same time, if Doctor Doom beats the Fantastic Four, it's like wrestling here. They're not going to get over. You know what I mean?
No. It's 50-50. It's 50-50 booking where nobody gets over.
So they might have to go off. They might have to find an alternative villain and pluck him out the MCU. So a villain who's like associated with another superhero character.
It'll be Galactus.
Yeah, I was say they've announced. I think it was
Fantastic
Galactus.
Four. Yeah, it's going to be because I'm reading it right now. It says Fantastic Four got a subtitle and some footage. Fantastic Four is the furthest out of any of the movies that premiered footage during the panel, but also probably the most anticipated. The cast is Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ibn Mas Bakrak. They showed up on stage during the presentation. They showed a bit of footage, but we got to see Galactus, so the Fantastic Four will be taking on Galactus, and Ginger is on his way.
Whatever. You know what? Ginger.
Finally.
Right?
It only took him about 100 years.
I also heard in that Comic-Con that they had a trailer for Thunderbolts.
Yes, Thunderbolts is also on the list.
Oh, I didn't hear about there's a Thunderbolts trailer. Sorry, there's a lot of information to go through.
I know, because I didn't get to see the Comic-Con footage yesterday, so this is all news to me. As I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so as far as Thunderbolts, there weren't many true announcements about the Thunderbolts, and we still don't know what's up in the title. But there was some footage that was shown exclusively. The clip seemed pretty exciting, and people are kind of comparing it to James Gunn's Suicide Squad, which I'm like, okay, maybe
that's what it is. I mean,
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to be like that, but I just want to see John Walker back. I'm looking forward to seeing my man. My man Johnny. Mr. Black Label. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to seeing him back, and hopefully he's got an adamantium shield as well.
Okay, now that Ginger's here, let's get his thoughts on Downey Jr.
No, we're continuing on. We don't care what Ginger thinks. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us today. All right, Diose, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, Ginger, while you're here, if you want to add any thoughts to Downey Jr. Returning to the MCU.
Yeah, it just smacks of desperation to kind of, it's what Hollywood always do. You mess up all your projects. You lose the audience. The returns on investment are dwindling. So you go back to the old adage of nostalgia bait or fan service, dangle the keys in front of the morons and they'll come running. It's the same with Deadpool. Deadpool wouldn't have got made if they didn't stick Wolverine in there.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. And I don't want to hear anything about Deadpool and Wolverine. We're going to go watch it tomorrow morning. Okay. I'm just saying that was what got that green lit. Okay. And this is what, with Robert Downey Jr. coming in, this is to say, look, we fucked up the multiverse. We fucked up. Obviously, things derailed because
Jonathan Majors
regardless
being
of what happened outside of the films with I forget the idiot's name now.
Jonathan Major.
Yeah. Okay. Regardless of that, the direction of the MCU was just going it was on a collision course to obscurity. So
Mm.
this is just course correction out of desperation. The one thing they did do right is they got the Russos back.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
you can't go wrong with that, because that's not fan service. That's not that. Just saying, okay, fine, we'll get the right people in. We got in a bunch of directors that just didn't have their own kind of strong will to do things their way. They just kind of, with exceptions to obviously Black Panther director, who really took the sequel in his own kind of direction to an extent,
which was fantastic.
Yeah, I love that film, and but it is course correction. And to me, if they'd have just said the Russos are coming back, Doctor Doom is the next big villain, or we're recasting Kang, that would have been enough for me. And I think for the fans, they would have cheered it. But the general consensus is, it's nice to see him back, but this smacks of desperation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had another thing I wanted to say, and now it's just completely gone from my mind.
Well, the one thing that me and DH were talking about was what we would have done is we would have, for me, I wanted the Kang Dynasty movie because it was going to be a backdoor Young Avengers movie. They are building up to it, and Kang is a big Young Avengers villain. So I kind of wanted that, and I thought John Boyega would have been a great recast for Jonathan Majors, and just have that Kang Dynasty Avengers movie, just make it a backdoor Young Avengers movie, and just leave it at that. And then end it. You know what I mean? Like, just leave it at that. You want to go into super. You want to go into Secret Wars, and then you want to go into Doomsday and all these other things after that. Fantastic, do that. But I was actually looking forward to Kang Dynasty, seeing the Young Avengers come up. They're already building the team. I like the team that they're building. You know, like, I think that team, like, you know, I was looking forward to Kang like wrecking the Avengers in the beginning of Kang Dynasty, and then the Young Avengers having to like, make it work to beat Kang, and then beat him, and then, as I said, be done with Kang after that.
Yeah, kill him.
So that's why I was like, and then of course they're undercutting, and I'm not being a purist here. I'm just saying they're undercutting the character of Victor Von Doom by tacking on Robert Downey Jr. to him. Because, like, I mean, my thought was bring in a good actor as the MCU Victor Von Doom.
Tom Cruise.
No.
I think it could be high caliber actor.
I mean, that's a bit too high caliber. I think
no. Tom Cruise interferes too much with
he
with
does.
Everything. He's
him and the Russos would not get along.
No.
But and then bring. No, that's my train of thought.
God Doom would be coming in at the very end of the credits.
Yeah, and then if you want to have God Doom, then have God Doom be Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, just him show up as a variant in Secret War. Make it a trilogy. Make it Kang Dynasty, Doomsday, and then Secret Wars. Make it a trilogy over 3 years or something. You know what I mean? Like,
but the thing is now as well, is this Robert Downey Jr. going to be like? What's his universe going to be like? Is he in the Fantastic Four universe? Is he a standalone?
He's gonna be a variant. I'm thinking that's kind of what
he's got to be a variant. He is not going to be.
Oh no, he'll be a variant. Like, this is multiverse. Look,
Fantastic Four, in my opinion. I think.
Yeah, he should be Fantastic Four.
What they've done with the Fantastic Four is they've basically just confirmed that the multiverse is going to head for a collision course for Secret Wars. Okay, because Fantastic Four is set in the 60s. It's kind of retro futurism. Which the minute they said that word, I'm like, okay, I'll bite, because I like retro futurism and I want to see it. And we got to see the Fantastic Car in the panel as well. It's kind of really cool how they did it. Whoops, you knocked my microphone over. But that just says to me that, okay, Secret Wars is going to be all these universes colliding into one. Whether they meld into one, I don't know. I don't care. If they become their own separate entity, that's fine. Because within that pocket, you can get different multiversal stuff, or what that the crux is Doom going to be in the Fantastic Four's universe, or is he going to be in his own universe? That's what I
think they'll put him in the Fantastic. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be big in the Fantastic Four movie. I think he will definitely be seen or mentioned in there.
Yeah, he'll be in there, but I don't want Robert Downey Jr. overshadowing the Fantastic Four. I want them to go fight Galactus, go kick his ass, and go from there.
I think it's going to be something similar. Like, we're going to start off. I mean, this is just a vision I had. Like, we're going to start.
Make sure you're not going to mention anything with Deadpool and Wolverine.
No, I'm not. I promise you.
No.
I think
Sorry.
how Fantastic Four might start off is like this ongoing battle between Doom and the Fantastic Four that has been going on for a while, and then it kind of ends. Their battle kind of ends at the beginning of the film, where maybe Doom fucking off somewhere, and then we focus on the Fantastic Four, maybe them going after Galactus or shit like that. You know,
Or maybe
I
they have
wouldn't
to
mind
team
them
up to beat Galactus.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
happened
I wouldn't
before.
want that. I would not
That-
want that. You know
That's
what I mean?
that's what's happened before.
Done that
they've done it before. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
So Robert Downey Jr. is gonna be all over that movie if Robert Downey is the Doctor Doom of the Fantastic Four universes movie. That's what's gonna happen. I'm
Yep.
telling you.
And they're going to be pimping. They're going to be pimping him out like, hey, just in case we didn't mention it 9,000 times before, here's Robert Downey Jr. as if you didn't already see him. Yeah,
Regarding retro futurism, if they make it like Fallout prior to the nuclear explosions, that'd be pretty cool.
yeah, that'd be
Well,
pretty
it's
badass.
retrofuturism of the 60s. So if
Mm.
you think of the 60s and how they viewed the future,
The Jetsons.
it's that kind of
Yep.
vibe.
Jetsons, yeah.
like the Jetsons.
Yeah, that's
George
like
Jetson.
yeah, that kind
Yeah.
of vibe. I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Like, it would be nice to kind of see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I ain't got much else to say or in terms of the Captain America and the Thunderbolts thing. Just it was weird that they had the asterisk over the Thunderbolts and they alluded to that because it could be subject to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the trailers look like because Captain America just did not wow me at all.
Yeah, I wonder if Harrison Ford's going to be in that as well. The Thunderbolts.
He's not.
I thought
He's not. He's named after him, and he's not in.
Yeah,
the
he's
fucking
not in
thing.
it. They said it on the panel. That
Oh,
he's
That's
not
why I
in
didn't
it.
want Harrison Ford as
80-year-old fucking like should go for something. I said
But-
Ralph Fiennes would have been ideal, absolutely ideal.
Well, and that's why I'm saying like that's why I think I said before is that what I wanted for Thunderbolt Ross is like when he takes the only way they can save this is if he takes the serum and it makes him younger and they recast him as a younger actor through that and it may not younger as in 20 some, but
Yeah.
he goes from his 80s down to his
To 50s.
40s, you know,
50s or 40s, yeah.
yeah, and so then they recast him as somebody similar to William. I want somebody similar to William Hurt is what I want. I think Harrison Ford was an awful choice.
I'm still banking on Ralph Fiennes. He's 63, so I think he's a good age
Yeah.
as well. You know, I mean, you could play like a man in his late 50s or whatever. I think he's absolutely ideal. You could put a stash in him. He could do the American accent with no problem whatsoever. He's a versatile actor, and he's not in the MCU, so that's a good way of squeezing a quality actor like him in it.
Well, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, we can bring Chris Evans back as Thunderbolt Ross now. So
No, they'll probably cast him as like the Human Torch or something stupid, you know.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made that joke. I made that joke in a Facebook group where everyone was like, "Where have you been? He's already been the Human Torch." I'm like, "You joke."
Yeah. But okay, now we know that I can never pronounce the guy's fucking name. The guy in Far Cry 6, the big bad in Far Cry 6. That's what I'm just gonna call him.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, he's playing Sidewinder, and I'm like, okay, that ought to be interesting.
and that means we're probably going to see Seth Rollins now because
Yeah.
he was
in the movie.
Serpent Society, which would
Yeah.
be cool. I'd like to see the Serpent Society.
I actually do want to see the Serpent Society, but I don't want them to be the main focus. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
think
Seth Rollins would have been an awesome Kraven the Hunter. They missed the trick on that.
Oh,
one.
no.
In the MCU, I think.
Listen, you'd have to dub him
you make
over.
some of the worst casting choices in the fucking
Look
world.
at him, man. He looks like Kraven. He looks like
He
Kraven
looks
the
like it,
Hunter.
but
Right.
man, he
Looks
opens
like
his
he's
mouth.
in the right place.
You got to be able to talk the part too.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm gonna be Spider-Man.
He's like, "Hey, Spider-Man, let's go."
Yeah.
Hey,
Spider-Man,
Joe,
you-
where
Spider-Man,
you
you-
go with your hand.
Spider-Man, you bastard! That's what he would sound like.
And then he's going to come in and try to referee a match between Venom and Spider-Man too. I mean,
Okay,
Anyway.
so I think we mostly got the MCU covered. Is there anything else that we need to talk about as far as
Well, they didn't
San
reveal
Diego
much,
Comic-Con?
did they?
Well, I would like to see like some of these current films start maybe heading in this direction of the fucking Secret Wars or Doomsday or shit like that, because every post-credit scene we've been getting, since Eternals and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck are we going here? Like
well, Eternals is dead. Like Eternals 2, that Kevin Feige has come out and said Eternals is dead. Like obviously we might see some of those characters again, like in other projects, but I know I don't think we need any of them. I really don't. No. I'm sorry. Like I think Eternals was a good attempt.
Good idea, bad execution.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep.
Good idea, bad execution. It should have been a series.
Yeah.
But then it again, the Eternals was just like their desperate attempt to kind of make the X-Men before Marvel had the X-Men, and they did it with the Inhumans, and it didn't work. You know what I mean? Like the only thing that was great about that was Anson Mount as Black Bolt.
Yeah,
I'll take him back any day as Black Bolt, but the rest of that just.
All right, so look, we never really answered this question. We were all like umming and ahhing, but regarding RDJ, Sirius is also not into him, maybe being Victor Von Doom. So, who should have been him?
I acknowledge I'm a bad caster, so I don't.
Christ, who could you get?
Oh, who's the guy from Nip Tuck? Oh, that guy would have been perfect.
Oh, him, yeah.
Well, I'm sticking with my choice of fucking Tom Cruise. Big fucking Hollywood massive actor. He would fucking put fucking bumps, and he could do his own stunts. So yeah, bring on Tom fucking.
But that's the
Cruise.
thing. Doctor Doom doesn't need to do stunts. Like Doctor Doom, he's like the master of techno magic. But
if he's flung around a bit here and there, it'll be good to know that Tom Cruise is having that happen.
This one's out.
My pick is still Penn Badgley.
Okay, Penn Badgley. Huh? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Like I don't know. Who could you bring in? If it wouldn't have been Downey Jr.
Listen, if he was this one right here. If he was not Magneto, I would be 100% on board.
He's Magneto, dude.
I know that's if he wasn't Magneto, I would be 1000% on board. But he was such a good Magneto. I want him now as Magneto in the MCU or in Secret Wars. Like I love Ian McKellen, but he's too old. Just like Patrick Stewart, let them rest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
would love. Okay.
Actually, I've got another one. Sorry, if you don't lose your train of thought. But I mentioned Ralph Fiennes. What about Ralph Fiennes?
Too old.
Too old. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Him and Tom Cruise, too old.
But all I was going to say was McAvoy and Fassbender. If they announced that they were coming back for X-Men, I would not be I would not be mad whatsoever.
Yeah.
They were so incredibly good.
Yeah, but they kind of merged. They're merging the Fox universe now. Serious. That's the thing. If you've seen stuff like the end of not Eternals, the Marvels, when you saw the end credit scene there with Beast and stuff like that,
I wouldn't worry too much about all of that, Zam, because I think with Feige he's just resetting a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility that might not allude to anything, but it might not. I'm not. I think the direction they're going in now, they're just kind of trying to erase the Capic era of the MCU.
Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes only 61, similar age to Robert Downey Jr.
Yep, so, they're trying to
Tom Cruise is 61.
Well, that's why I think Robert Downey Jr. needs to be back for just like one movie. The problem is Robert Downey Jr. is not a long-term solution to Doctor Doom. You want to be done with Doctor Doom after Secret Wars, really? Doctor Doom. You want to be done completely with Doctor Doom after Secret Wars, because by the time that comes out, RDJ is almost going to be 65.
Doctor Doom, you could get at least maybe 5-6 movies out of, if that. You could really stretch the shit out with Doctor Doom if you really wanted to.
Even Giancarlo Esposito would have made a fucking good Doctor Doom as well. He wasn't playing fucking Rewinder, what the
Sidewinder.
There we go. Yeah.
Sidewinder's a complete fucking waste of that actor's.
Yeah.
And honestly, I like the idea of making Carlo Esposito and what was it, Denzel Washington? Although he's a bit, as I said, he's another one that's a bit old.
Either in the 70s now, unfortunately.
As Magneto and Professor X, and like they're like them, like instead of it being World War II, being the civil rights movement. I like that idea. I really, I think that is a good modernization of, because as I said, how long ago was the 1940s? Like at this point, like
Yeah.
you would in order for it to make sense, you would actually have to bring back Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart for that to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
You know
they'd
what
have
I mean?
to be 100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they would really have to literally be Magneto would have to be 100, and it's like that doesn't.
Yeah. Which I mean, okay, that's fine because like mutants live longer, they have a higher life expectancy, but I don't want to see that.
Not Jean. Jean's got like a 5-year expectancy. But
Yep.
Well, she dies, comes back, dies, come back.
Yep.
she really knocks the average down, though. I mean, come on, like
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she's fucking with everyone's average.
Problem is, there's a lack of male actors under 45 with gravitas.
well, but that's what I was saying about John Boyega. Like, I mean, I think he would have made a great Kang. Like I feel like John Boyega could have pulled it.
Yeah.
I got another one. Someone younger. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Levitt, what the fuck his surname is?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
As Doom.
There's
No,
something.
he's stuck with Cobra Commander, let alone Doom.
Yeah, he's Cobra Commander.
guys, he was the best Robin ever. Okay,
Yeah.
where's Gary? Gary said he was going to be here. Where's Gary? He
Yeah.
needs to defend Robin.
Jason
Darla.
Gordon-Levitt for me is the indie film guy. Man. He does some
Yeah.
kind of really cool, like
I think he
weird
could pull off
film.
the Doom. Yeah, I think he could do it. Personally, but fair enough.
If Steve Carell wasn't a comedic actor and he was serious, I would have liked to have seen what he would have been like as a bad guy. Maybe not Doom, but like if Steve Carell came into the MCU, I wonder how he would do.
He's had non-comedic roles like a lot of actors do. A lot of comedic actors do. They always do 1 or 2 non-comedic roles, and it shows their range. He's fucking good, man.
Yeah, because I would.
I don't know if I'd cast him as Dr. Doom, but I do.
Yeah, I would put Steve Carell in the MCU just as somebody.
I'm trying to think of who, because Steve Carell needs to kind of be somebody who's a little bit more unhinged than Doom. Doom is like, Doom is always on it, like always on point. He is the antithesis to Reed Richards.
Yep.
But you need to let Carell stretch his legs a little bit where it comes to like variant.
I think Carell might be able to pull off a Reverend Stryker. He could be unhinged enough to do Stryker.
I could
as
see
a
that.
Reverend. Maybe
You
not
know what?
Howard.
I know who he could be. He could be another version of Norman Osborn.
Yeah, Steve Carell is Norman Osborn.
Honestly, I feel like Norman Os. This is my Spider-Man purist in me. I always thought Norman Osborn should have been black, even in the comics. Like I felt like just the hairstyle and everything. Like they're never gonna get that hairstyle right with the white guy. So it's like, and even in the comic books, it just looks odd. And I think that's why they did it, was because it's like it's not even like cornrows backwards. It's cornrows sideways.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it makes no sense.
It's just a weird wave. Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, William Dafoe, perfect. But again,
listen, give me Timothy Dalton 40 years ago as Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Timothy Dalton
bring up this
would have
comment.
been perfect.
Bring up if Heath Ledger wasn't dead, he would make a fucking fantastic Dr. Doom.
And it's a shame Jake Gyllenhaal his fucking chrome dome head. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger could have played him and all of the Fantastic Four. Just do like a Nutty Professor thing. Just
make it meta. Make it meta. Just make it meta.
Guys, I got it.
Heath Ledger.
I got it. You guys ready for this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is Dr. Doom. Come on, he can do it.
Oh, that would be meta. That would be so.
Why do you hate me?
No. Just have
maybe Glenn Howerton, if he didn't look so old now, would have made a fantastic Doctor Doom. Glenn Howerton is Dennis from Sunny in Philadelphia.
You know who would have made I got one that can top all that if this was I got one that can top all that if this was 25 years ago. Clear your minds. I know y'all are not going to be ready for this. Vince McMahon is Dr. Doom. That would have been the greatest thing ever. Damn it.
Oh man.
Reed Richards, I fucking
Okay, as we're going into wrestlers, what about The Rock as Dr. Doom?
No,
he
could, but he would make a great thing. I mean, it just makes sense. The Rock,
Rock would be greatest thing. Oh my god, absolutely right.
He could have even done Hercules like back then. He had the right personality for Hercules.
Jake Gyllenhaal is Dr. Doom?
No, he's Mysterio.
He's Mysterio, dude. He was in Spider-Man 2 as Mysterio.
I mean, he could be a variant, whatever, blah blah blah. But it's like then you'd have Quentin Beck as Doctor Doom. Like
Yeah, it
if
wouldn't
you
work.
run by
Conman.
Marvel's
Yeah.
logic right now,
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
like I am Quentin Beck Doom.
Okay, so
And now I'm going to give you the
No.
worst exposition in a film ever.
we covered Marvel.
That scene in Prague was the worst.
So since we covered Marvel, did DC announce anything? I don't know if they did.
I mean, they
No.
showed Creatures Commando teaser. They did.
They're constantly showing clips of the fucking Superman movie being made with an entire.
I was about to
cast.
say that's all over because it's taking place in my home state, up by Cleveland. So I mean,
okay.
like
I really want that
everybody's
film to-
posting stuff in my area about it. But
I really want that film to prove me wrong because I'm not a big fan of having so many fucking characters in there or superhero characters. I think it does a disservice to Superman as well as the other characters to have so many fucking people in one fucking in the debut movie.
And the question is,
Yeah.
why? Why are there going to be so many characters in it? Like that's
I don't
what I'm
think they're-
interested in the why.
I don't think they're going to be big characters. I think they're just going to show up for like a couple scenes. Like
Yeah.
that's it. Like I don't think it's going to be a big.
Just
but-
kind of. Sorry,
Yeah.
go on, Sam.
No, I'm just thinking like if you look at like the first several films of the MCU, like it just started off as Iron Man, and that was it. Iron Man and nobody other. And obviously with a tease of fucking War Machine and shit like that. But then as we went along with the second Iron Man film, then we brought in Black Widow. The first Thor movie, then we brought in, and by that time there was already other things established. We brought it with like the Hulk and stuff like that. We brought in Hawkeye. You know, little that was the better way to do it. Little snippets. Then we get the fucking team up. You know?
No, okay. So, but the thing is that these characters that they're bringing in are not anywhere near as big as Hawkeye, Black Widow. Like this Guy Gardner Green Lantern is like the fourth best Green Lantern, maybe even fifth at this point. Mr. Terrific is great, but he's more of an exposition character. Like he's more of I'm going to explain to you how this works.
Yeah.
Who's the other Hawk Girl? I mean, yeah,
But
like
all in one movie though, like in the first Superman film, I think it's a bit much.
But this is an established universe. Like James Gunn has already said that this is an established DC universe. This is not an origin story. This is not, I don't even know. I mean, I don't think they've said if the Justice League is already together, but like this is an established universe already. So I think these characters are just going to either show up in the climax of the film during like the main fight, or they're just Superman's going to run into them during his exploits. I know they're all together at one point based on the leaked footage, but yeah, I think they're going to be in a couple scenes. Mr. Terrific might be around more just because, as I said, he's a big exposition dump character because he's super smart and super techie. But I don't think they're going to be throughout the whole film. I really don't.
Yeah, you don't
No,
want to
I'm not saying
oversaturate.
I'm not saying if they are or not. I just feel that I would prefer this to be more of a Superman solo project, and then maybe we start introducing characters in other films as we start to establish this new DC universe. But I hope I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. I want to be wrong on this, but I want this to succeed. End of the day, but I kind of feel like we've been here before regarding how they dump everything in like the old DCU, where they try to throw everything into the first few movies, and
DC deserves a win. Like, let's be real. Like I'm a Marvel guy through and through, but I don't hate DC, and I don't think DC is garbage. I think it's been mishandled, and I think DC deserves a win.
Yeah, DC's been mostly fumbling since 10, 11 years ago since they started. They've had some good stuff, but they haven't had anything like, oh my god, like, yeah.
Well, they haven't got a plan. Like, I'll give credit to the MCU. Like, they're already like, one movie after the other. They're churning out stuff. Even during their heyday, like DCU, they're like fumbling and mumbling on what the fuck's gonna happen next. Like the Flash movie happened like 7-8 years after the fucking Justice League. It's ridiculous, and even that was a fucking flop. By the way, Jose, where are you located?
I am in the weed capital of America, baby, Colorado.
Fair enough.
Yep.
If Gary Oldman was younger, Gary Oldman would have been a great dude.
Yeah,
He would, but the problem is that these are not long-term answers. Like these are not long-term answers for this question of who could be Dr. Doom.
Yeah, because you want to stretch Dr. Doom out about 5-6 movies. You don't want him being just one and done.
That's why you get somebody young.
Yeah,
I got one. Like he can play, even though he was in the Fox universe, he wasn't really like his look wasn't really established, and he can play another character, Oscar Isaac.
Okay, maybe.
I think he would be
Moon
great.
Knight.
Doom.
Yeah, Moon Knight.
Oh
Knight.
shit! I totally fucking forgot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
you know what? His fourth personality
But-
could be Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Still a good choice.
Damn, I
If it
fucking
wasn't
forgot
Moon
about
Knight-
Moon Knight. Oh my god.
I hope they
Yeah.
do more
I
with
mean-
Moon Knight. I really enjoyed Moon Knight, like
Yeah.
as
I
a
love
character.
Moon Knight. Apart from the last episode, the rest of it was fantastic.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I really hope they
The
do more with him. They need to.
MCU, shows. I loved it to bits.
Yep.
You know,
I was hoping to think of him fucking playing Bossman's favorite fucking character of all time.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, you can. You need somebody with like he was such a like. Go back and watch the like. I just got done with me and my friends on Nerd Night watching the whole '90s show. Like Oscar Isaac was such a bad choice just because he doesn't have that gravitas, or at least they didn't let him have that gravitas. You know, like I am Apocalypse. You know, like, and I mean, I'm doing a poor example, but it's like he's got to have that like exuberant, like I am the god of the mutants, and
Yep.
And
Look,
for me, he would
Apocalypse
be the
needed
next.
a good British thespian to play Apocalypse. You know, someone that could project him in a manner that is somewhat archaic, but in a kind of just the archaic kind of way of villainous projection, because that's what Apocalypse is.
I got
It's
it.
not like the kind of subdued like
Denzel Washington.
But for me, Apocalypse will be the next big super bad after this particular phase, and hopefully by then the X-Men will be more established, and
Yep.
and that'll be the ideal super big bad for them to go up against.
I would
Yeah.
not be surprised if after Secret Wars we don't get. Well, I'm pretty sure after Secret Wars we're going to get Avengers versus X-Men somehow,
Yeah,
some way.
it has to happen. It has to happen.
They've already teased it, like it.
Yeah.
Like so. I mean, but after Secret Wars, they're going to start going hardcore on the X-Men. Like,
Oh yeah, because it's going to be all about the mutant saga, because that's what's coming next.
they're going in raw,
Don't
baby.
mention any spoilers.
Don't worry, we're not mentioning any spoilers. I'm just saying regarding
Yep.
like we were mentioning how like Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine for over 20 years. He's the only character who hasn't really been replaced. There's been alternative characters of so many established superhero, supervillain characters, except for Wolverine, only played by Hugh Jackman. Somebody's gonna have to take his place.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito can do it. Come on,
Come on. Go.
give him the reins.
I
He's still
feel
young.
Taron Egerton was supposed to play him, and I feel so sorry for whoever has to take the reins of Wolverine, because it's always going to be
Compared to Hugh. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
we got
you
you
can
got
see
the
the
same
mutant,
thing with
not my
Magneto,
Wolverine.
Professor X. You got. I mean, so it's like
I know, but this is different though. Like this is like a guy who's been like for like over 2 decades. Like even the other characters that had they brought in younger versions of them. Wolverine is like it's just the same fucking guy. Like it made sense having like a younger. You could obviously have a younger version of Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. That's why they brought in those other actors. But
fantastic actors.
fantastic actors as well. But you're actually replacing Hugh Jackman now. They're not doing a younger version or whatever. You're fully replacing him. I think it's going to be really. I feel sorry for the actor who takes that role because he's going to be shit on. There's going to be memes going, "Not my Wolverine" and all that sort of shit.
Well, hopefully he can disconnect from all that, because whoever they cast, it's got to happen. If they are going to use Wolverine ever, like eventually he will have to be recasted, because Hugh Jackman is not going to be even remotely capable in 10 15 years. Like, yeah, you might be able to get a couple more years out of him, like if they bring him back, but it's just like
you'll get him in at least maybe 1 or 2 Avengers movies, and then that's going to be it. That's how it's going to have to go.
I have an idea. What happen if they say, you know what, let's just go with X-23 instead?
It's a hard sell, but it could happen. Yeah.
I'm okay with that because I love X-23.
I say I like X-23 too.
One of the
Yeah.
greatest comics ever written, but the general fandom will want to see,
They're going to want Wolverine.
Yeah.
Well, and also they're going to say, "Oh, gender swapping Wolverine," and it's like,
Yep.
shut up. You know what? You can't claim gender swap when it happened in the comics.
Yep.
Yeah. happened like fucking over 20 years ago. So calm the fuck down.
They'll still
Yeah,
fucking
right.
complain about that shit regardless. You know.
Yeah, they will.
yeah.
They always
Well, it's just
fucking
like it's
do.
not even the same. It's not like they named her like Laura, or well, they did name her Laura, but still, like it's not like it's like supposed to be Logan, but like Loganina. You know,
Yeah.
like no, it's literally a character from a comic book.
It's a clone.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was created in X-Men Evolution before the comic books.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So she came from the cartoon X-Men Evolution.
Mhm.
And yeah, she was a clone of
Yeah. Yeah.
Wolverine.
DC.
The 13th
Yeah,
clone.
You're right
13.
about that.
You're right about that. Yeah, they wanted to just make it like the Avengers. But, yeah.
I mean, like they fucking they made Batman versus Superman, but you know we'll throw in a bit of fucking Wonder Woman.
Well,
in
no.
there.
Okay, so and not to tangent again, but in DC's defense, I think there's just as many movies between Man of Steel and Justice League as there was in Iron Man
Before
and
Avengers.
Avengers. So they if they could have honestly, if DC would have gotten their shit together, they could have done it. MCU did it, but I think if maybe off by one. But there's just as many movies between Man of Steel and Justice League.
The
Yeah.
third movie was Avengers. Yeah. No, sorry. Justice League. It was
No, the
Man
third
of
movie
Steel,
was not Justice League.
but Justice League, Batman versus Superman, Justice League.
No, Wonder Woman came out, and
Before
then
Justice League.
no, Justice
Yeah.
League came out after. No, Justice League was
All
not.
right,
the
I gotta
third
pull
movie.
up the. I gotta pull up the DC timeline.
It was. We
No,
did.
not timeline. Movie release.
Yeah, movie release.
Yeah, movie release. It was Man of Steel.
Okay.
Man of Steel.
Man
Batman
of-
okay.
versus-
Man of Steel, Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
Shazam, Batman versus Superman, then Justice
Shazam
League.
did not come out before Justice League.
Actually, okay, yeah, because someone fucked that up.
That
Look at-
doesn't
look
sound
at-
right. 'Cause I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman
Let me
was
see.
introduced in Batman versus Superman.
She was.
Yeah, and
Okay,
her
no,
film
I
came
don't-
out after Justice League.
I
Her film
don't
came out
want
after
these in
Justice
order.
League. because
Wonder
they
Woman was
fucking-
not after Justice League. Wonder Woman was before Justice League.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Forbes. At least you guys got this right. Okay, so in order of release, Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, then Justice League.
Okay, so
That's how
five.
those came
So
out.
I was
Yeah,
off.
five.
Wait. So it's Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America,
Hulk. Don't
and
forget Hulk.
Avengers, right?
No,
Five.
Hulk.
Okay, The Incredible Hulk.
If you count that canon.
I mean, it is. Listen, we ain't no Jake over here.
It's
So-
100% canon. We have
Okay,
Robert
so
Downey
I was
Jr.
off by one, but still, they had
Yeah.
5 movies. The
Suicide
MCU had 6.
Yeah.
They still could have
Suicide Squad.
established a universe.
Hardly was it like the establishment of the Suicide Squad. Like it just feels very irrelevant in that universe. if you
Okay,
know what
I'm
I
not
mean.
talking about the movies specifically. I'm talking about number
Yeah.
of movies.
Yeah, and
Fair
release
enough.
order. That's what he's talking about.
So you could have not done Suicide Squad yet. You could have, or you could have used it to actually, I don't know, establish your universe more.
Yeah.
Mr. System, we are not talking.
Yeah, please do not talk about Deadpool 3. We're
Yeah,
avoiding it.
we're
because
avoiding-
not everyone has seen it.
Until tomorrow, so I don't want.
And just so you know, Ginger, we did talk a little bit, just 3 minutes of spoilers and
So, yeah,
earlier in
when
this
you
video,
go-
so don't go back and watch this yet.
Yep.
Okay.
But we waved everybody. We said, "Oh, spoiler warning for the
Yeah, and
next
I
2
did-
minutes, 3 minutes."
I did a quick countdown, so yeah, that's when you'll know not to watch.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's.
He doesn't go
fine.
back and watch this. Are you kidding me? He doesn't care until he gets here.
Yep.
I'll skip straight to when I go there and just whip my cock out and start beating up. What I do, baby.
All right, but,
So have you guys booked Star Trek Section 31?
No,
Oh,
well,
we're gonna do that in another video.
we're gonna save that for later. Actually, we're gonna record that a little bit later and then release it later.
Okay, I can't wait. I'm so glad you guys are doing a video on that. Are you doing that today?
Yeah, we're trying to get Major Rage in on it, but I don't know when he's going to be available.
Salivating at the prospect. I'm not going to say anything now. Then
All right, but if anybody has anything to add, I think we can go ahead and wrap it up because I don't think there's much else to really talk about as far as
What's
San
the
Diego.
next Marvel film?
Captain America, right?
Captain America. Yep.
And after that, Thunderbolts.
Yep.
Okay.
and the
So,
one
yeah.
black superhero that we can't get is Blade.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn it!
That's
They still keep
unfortunate,
fucking
James.
that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still, I'm still mad about Blade. Very pissed off about Blade.
Oh,
There's
they
only
did
ever
confirm
gonna
though
be
that Blade will be rated R now. See, look,
Oh, okay,
I'm
good.
sorry, not a tangent, but one thing I did want to bring up is I think that what happened is that the reason why Blade and all this has kind of been put on the back burner is because Kevin Feige's been biding his time so we can go to the Disney execs and say, see, rated R movies sell.
Yeah.
Like, I think you don't think so? Okay.
No, I think Mahershala Ali is a massive pain in the ass to work with, and he's constantly clashing with the writers and directors. That's why every writer and director is gone, and he's still attached to the project. When things like that happen, that tells me that the actor is a pain in the ass to work with.
Okay, well, but I think that Disney's been very,
rated
very...
R, yeah.
They're like, rated R, oh, no. Because even with Deadpool and Wolverine, it's still kind of MCU adjacent, like the product. Because the spoiler alert, Ginger, there was no Disney logo at the very beginning of Deadpool and Wolverine. There was no do 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 do.
Yeah, they didn't do any of that shit.
Oh no! You've seen the trailers, haven't you, of Deadpool and Wolverine?
No, I've only seen one trailer.
Okay, fine, then I'll shut my mouth.
Just nothing.
I think we can go ahead and wrap it up now.
Till tomorrow. After tomorrow, 1 o'clock tomorrow, you can do what you want. You can post what you want.
Okay, cool. Because once you see it, that's when we'll make the video about it.
We're gonna tomorrow. We're gonna whip our winkies out for you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we can just do a review if you want, whatever you want.
Yep.
You know.
But okay,
it was too expensive to go and watch it. It was $25 to go and watch
Winslow,
it.
you came at a great time talking about whipping our winkies out.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Jose, if you want to wrap it up.
I was gonna say, is anyone like excited for the MCU? Are y'all looking forward to what's gonna happen before we go? Kinda. For me, kinda. I'm sort of excited.
I'm okay with it. I'm more interested than I was before. So let's see what happens.
Less interested now.
Less interested? Okay.
I am not more nor less interested. I'm actually more.
It's the Russos I want back, but with Robert Downey Jr. coming back, it's like,
yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it kind of brings me right back down. Because, when I heard the Russos were back, I'm like, Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I got one more person. Charlie Hunnam maybe could play Dr. Doom.
No,
Zam has been burning those casting oils in his brain.
Yeah.
Stop, Zam. It's not your forte.
Fine. All right, Ben Affleck. That I'm taking the piss.
Charlie Sheen as Dr. Doom. That would fucking work. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, Tiger Blood. That's how he's energized.
Yeah.
Not magic.
Yeah. All right, but if nobody else has anything to add, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up now. I'd like to thank Cheeto, Zam, and Ginger for joining me. And we will see you guys next time. Join us for Star Trek and wrestling news and anything else that we feel that we need to talk about nerd related. Thank you all for joining me. You guys have a great week. We will see you next time. Like and subscribe. Peace.